Hello everyone and welcome back. Today's build is a bit of the odd one, as we'll be using an exotic that not many people tend to use or even think about for endgame content at all, and that is the CITAN'S Ramparts. Now before you ask, why am I even using this, ask yourself this: when was the last time you gave this a try in PvE? It's probably zero, as the exotic is more PvP based, but with Stormkey's effect allowing users to proc bolt charges behind cover, I thought, wouldn't it not be great to try this combo out at least once? Well, here's your answer. With this build, you'll not only be able to shoot through your barrier, but pairing this up with Loadstar will allow you to blind, bolt charge, jolt, and garner ionic traces. Pretty cool, right? So, let's give it a try. Starting with the exotic armor, CITAN'S Rampart with its exotic effect, Assault Barricade, it states, replaces Tower and Barricade with an Assault Barricade that allows the caster and their allies to shoot through it. Assault Barricades take 60% increased damage from enemy players, effectively decreasing his HP from 500 to 312.5% in PvP. Here's an exotic that is very undervalued by the community at large. Rarely do you see this be used in PvP because of how weak it is, while in PvE is not really something most people would use, since there are better options to pick. However, Stormkeep's aspect does allow the exotic to be slightly more effective, with thanks to the ability of shooting through it. Being able to do that while also having a wide level of coverage does allow the exotic to be more effective against enemies who use AoE based attacks, for example. It also allows your team to be more protective as well when close to you, since with this in hand, you can all group up for more better DPS and also make use of certain perks that are team effective, such as Fireman Line or Beam Medic. I know many people will still prefer a more versatile exotic to use, but at least the following is worth keeping in mind to try. Our second exotic is Loadstar, with its exotic effect, Starlight Beam and Arc Alignment, which states, this weapon fires a low intensity arc beam with enhanced stability and accuracy. Dealing arc damage from any source aligns the battery coils. When alignment is complete, alternative weapon action to disengage the safety and enable a hip-fire Starlight Beam to apply jolt to any target damage for a short time. Aim down sight to slow the rate at which the battery drains. This is the very first trace rifle with infinite ammo, is pretty powerful and quite balanced in today's sandbox. While it's not going to be causing targets to produce ion traces by the bucket loads, or making enemies explode from ignitions, the following is going to allow you to apply jolt at a steady rate, with how fast you can build up your arc alignment perk. Combining this with a few seasonal mods based around trace rifles and arc is going to provide a much bigger boost of effects, compared to just using any arc weapon on hand. Although, anything long range is where the build will benefit the most from, such as Cold Heart, Symmetry, and Thunderlord. For aspects and fragments, you have the following: Storm Keeps, where casting your class ability will grant you and allies a moderate amount of bolt charges over time. At max stacks, you can use your weapon to activate them. Knockout, where quickly wounding a target will increase your melee damage and start regaining your health. Spark of Ions, where defeating a jolted targets creates ionic traces. Spark of Discharge, where arc weapon final blows have a chance to create ionic traces. Spark of Frequency, where melee hits increase your weapon stability and reload speed for a few seconds. While amplified, the effects will increase and you gain increased bolt charges from all sources. And Spark of Shock, where your arc grenades jolt targets. Similar to how most Stormkeep builds are alike, the following is going to be maximizing our aspect while also putting in the work when using our two exotic. Having a Spark of Ions and Discharge is going to allow Loadstar to effectively become a arc cannon that can jolt and garner ion traces as we play along. Because of Loadstar doesn't need ammo to be refilled, we can freely use the weapon with some of the new seasonal mods for Trace Rifle of the season. A Beam Medic will grant us and our team free healing on kills, which is perfect for matching our weapon and current loadout theme of sticking together. We also have Harsh Refraction, which will increase our weapon's damage more if a debuff is applied to targets. As the weapon can apply Jolt and blinding grenades are available, we can make full use of the effect on and off. A Frequency, of course, is going to help garner bolt charges for our abilities, which we can pair with Dielectric, Photonic Flare, Flashover, and Defibrillating Blast to further buff our weapons in the process. Lastly, Spark of Shock is a 50-50 fragment to use, as it's effectively good if the kit is already strong and you want to place something in anyways, but at the same time can't be swapped out if you have other means to applying Jolt. A Spark of Beacons would be great here, but that only works for special and heavy weapons. Spark of Focus is also good if you want a faster class ability, which is also beneficial. And lastly, Spark of Recharge seems to be the best option, since you're getting a flat 400% ability energy return on critical health. Pretty much the fragment has leeway to be swapped out for something different, since the kit is already pretty powerful from the get-go, and adding an extra source of jolt is only viable if you desire it or not. Hopefully, this gives you some room to test further. For the mods and stats, both Resilience and Discipline will be the two stats to invest in the most. Resilience at tier 10 will be giving us a 30% damage reduction and a 41-second cooldown when using towering barricades. While Rally has a shorter cooldown, which many people believe is worth the investment, a towering will offer a large radius for protecting users while behind it. This for me is something worth trying, since we can easily shoot through our cover and not need to worry about wizards blasting us to hell and back. At the same time, having an elemental resist or concussive dampener mod may be reasonable to add if you wish to cover all angles. Our Discipline is at a tier 10 for a 46-second cooldown using flashbang grenades. Flashbangs are good as they can stun multiple enemies at once and will recover faster within the build we have. The damage isn't so much needed for the build, since the kit will be enhancing everything we have, including our grenades. This way, we can freely use our grenades that are best at disrupting enemies' movements, plop our barricades down, and then go to tower against everyone in front of us. This also offers a slightly safer way of playing if you intend to use your barricades consistently, so in many ways, the grenade and barricade combo does play in your favour. So to expand on the abilities being used, we have the following: Bolstering Destination for a 12% class ability regen, Momentum Transfer ×1 for a 12% melee ability regen, Impact Induction ×2 for a 17% grenade ability regen, and Bomb Up for a 12% grenade ability regen for a fully rounded set. Now for the extra stuff, we have the following: Harmonic Siphon for creating orbs of power via matching elemental weapons, Dynamo, while casting your class ability near targets will grant you super energy, Heavy Ammo Finder ×1, Reserves and Scavenger mods for a heavy weapon, a Charged Up for a +1 armor charge, Arc Surge for a 10% arc weapon buff, although ×2 will definitely help as well, a Powerful Traction for automatically collecting orbs of power when using your class ability, and Time Dilation, where your decaying armor charge has longer duration. So as we have covered our Exotic primary weapon, I will then advise you to pick some super weapons for the build. What I've recommended are all optional, so please keep this in mind. Our secondary is the Cool with Slice and Vulnerable weapon. With the high usage of class ability being used and activated, I thought it would be best to pair this up with a strand weapon that has a Slice available on it, or a weapon that has a strategist perk on it for us to use as well. Ideally, this strand weapon is better as you can use this against barrier champions and easily weaken enemies all in one with its perks over time. You can also activate seasonal mods such as the Unraveling Orbs, Vile Weaves, and the Shreds for additional bonuses if you like. If you do go down this path, it might be best to pair this up with a Strand Heavy as well. For Heavy, with the Scintillation with Slice and Firing Line. Sticking with the Strand weapons and Slice bonus, the following is best suited as we can make full use of our team's damage via my Firing Line perk. Pairing this up with the seasonal mods mentioned and Pocket Destruction mod creates a very powerful setup that works a charm with Stormkeep and pretty much everything we are running with. Now, while many people might say, why the hell are you using CITAN'S Rampart at all for PvE content, it's actually become viable in a sense, with thanks to Stormkeep's introduction. Although barricades have become heavily nerfed and far weaker than before, and Citan is more designed for PvP peaking, the introduction of Stormkeeps allows the Exotic to be more viable than most people give credit to. Instead of it having a smaller barricade on display, which does still leave us vulnerable to damage, we can have a tower and barricade available instead, which covers more ground for me and my allies, and provides better protection in the long run. Something like this is quite powerful to have on hand if you and your allies are based in a cramped up area and have little room for maneuvering around. This here will grant you increased protection and Stormkeep's bolt effect for long periods up until your barrier is destroyed. While we're at it, I then added the Loadstar Exotic to the mix, as it was perfect for staying behind cover for long and not needing to grab more ammo while out of safety. Once you apply your favourite traits to the build, and then add on the seasonal mods as well, you get a pretty down to earth and user friendly build to mess around with. Now, I am aware there is argument over picking the different barricades and exotics that provide more fruitful things to the end user, but ultimately, builds should be about exploring the unknowns and giving certain things a try, even if it's not meta worthy. I don't expect a lot of people giving this build a try, as there are quite a handful of Stormkeep builds available to explore, but this one provides something different that worth a try, and maybe even worth the long-term investment for most players. So there we have it. I hope you all enjoyed the build breakdown. If you have any thoughts on the content shared, then please leave a comment, a like and a sub while you're here. I will leave a dim link for the build below, And if you want more stuff like this, then I have a playlist available covering all types of builds you desire. It was great sharing today's video with you all, and I hope to see you again soon.